For me, it starts with the music. I'm using those patterns or those rhythms to create, so it's never about the canvas in the first place. I want to get you to come here with me, to really listen. There are other things that are happening around you, but I want you to pay attention to what's happening right now.
You should be here.
M.A.D.D. came from being angry, being upset with things that have happened around me or situations that I've been in, and I took that energy to say, you know what? Instead of doing something to you, I'm gonna do it to this painting. Instead of being upset with you and giving you so much power, I can shift that power into something beautiful. Because things in life happen and they are very, very chaotic. It's up to you to see the beauty in situations where everything isn't as bad as you thought it was. You can get through those situations, but it's gonna take some time and patience. I had a motorcycle accident 4 years ago. It's been a wrap for me. That helmet is what kept me together and saved my life. You know, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be doing any of this. It's those moments where we have to redefine ourselves and figure out what their strength is, what their strength really is, and what you use that energy for. Use it for positive things. I did whatever it took to not be like my environment that I grew in. You know, I do paint classes with kids. A lot of those kids may not come from the best homes. I had to tell them about the stories of where I grew up. A lot of kids, they'll tell me, that's where I live. And for them to hear the story of what I've been through and then seeing where I'm at, it encourages them. You know, I suffered from dyslexia, anxiety, and I was actually in, I guess they would call them remedial classes growing up. I used to be ashamed of going in those classes because people would make fun of me or make fun of my friends that were in those classes. And it was never intended for me to really graduate. I had to figure out ways to learn differently. I dealt with depression. There were so many things happening in my old neighborhood. Any kid would get lost in trying to figure out what their identity was. I always was seeking out to find other things that would keep me from crawling into a dark hole and thinking that that was the end of my life. People don't see the scars underneath these clothes, but I can tell them the stories about it. We only know one perspective of someone's life, and that's all we're gonna get until they open up and they tell us about it. Your story is not like anyone else's, and no one else can tell your story like you could. Our body is our temple. Our body is our tool, that's my instrument. And so it's important to feel, to scrape up the courage to be able to reveal it to people, because not everyone's gonna be comfortable in doing that. Don't get me wrong, I still feel judged all the time, but nothing else matters around that helmet. It makes everything else stand quiet and nothing else matters but that moment. I just spend a lot of time just dealing with self. And so when I paint, it's a part of self-reflection. Art isn't just a picture on a wall, it's more of what you embody. People are taking more home with them than just a painting or whatever. They're taking my pain and they've taken the sacrifices that I've gone through. You're taking a piece of me with you. The thing about human connection that is really important is we all have some type of trait or something that connects us all. And so many of us get caught up on the outer layer constantly about skin or whatever it is, our beauty or whatever divides us from other folks. And I just use colors to get people to see that. That's all it is, it's just a color. But underneath, we have so many layers to ourselves. And if we reveal those things, we'll see that we're so much alike. We can try to get people to believe the way we want to as much as we want to, but if they hear someone's story that connects so much deeper, it resonates with them more. Storytelling is the oldest art form in the world, but some people's lives or their history isn't always painted the right way. Other people are made out to be the heroes in some stories when others are cast to the shadows. And I want to bring the people that are placed in the shadows more into the light. I'm the Mad Artist. I'm a painter, actor, musician. Every platform is an opportunity to reach other people. That's where real success comes from. When you can change the community that you're in and give back to those kids, that's when you've made a huge impact. Once I put on that helmet, I feel like a superhero coming to save the day and change someone's life some way.